everybody.
Hey everybody, welcome to TFT, Tarot for Today, Divine Dabblings with
Oberon.
and me, Banshee. Welcome to the Unhappy Hour. As you know, we were down last week with our internet and we weren't able to bring this show up on the first day of the fourth quarter moon. We're just 2 days late, well 3 when you see this, but we decided we have to share the unhappy.
Where does it hurt? Well, probably in numerous places.
This Mercury retrograde has been a nightmare, and now here comes Sunny to make more of a nightmare for us. Joy, oh bliss. So, at any rate, let's get started. As you know, this show is all about finding out where things might be going wrong in our lives, making us unhappy, and how we can turn things around, how we can turn that frown upside down. And so we're going to get started with our air signs, which are Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. This reading is for you.
Do we want to take a break and get him out of here? Hey, you. Are you coming up or not?
Well, that would be bad. If he climbs on that table, he'll mess the camera, right? Yeah. And also, I don't know if he's messing with the microphone cord, but it looks okay right now.
Well, the malfunction wasn't about, hello there, will you behave?
Yeah, well, let's see what happens.
Okay, keep rolling.
Okay. So this is for the air signs, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. This reading is for you. Let's find out where it's hurting or gonna hurt in this month ahead. And remember, this reading is good until, the next fourth quarter moon. So, roughly, 4 weeks from now. And want to remind everybody, too, that Mercury is still retrograde. That certainly might add to the pain. Okay.
There's a lot of planets retrograde.
Stay down, Sonny. You stay down. Shut up. But don't forget, we have our support Squishmallow. Fly with us today to protect us from harm.
Aw. Thank you, Bly.
You're welcome. You may shuffle now. I have done my part.
Yes, I think you have.
I try. I do try.
So, right, for all the signs, and of course, for the world, hey, lovely, eh? Well, that's what happens, so.
Don't bend my cards.
They only fell to
where it will hurt is you buying me another deck.
This will all be cut out because I think it's silly.
It will not be all cut out.
Why not?
Wow. Now I am hurting.
No one will even know that part.
Okay. Well, okay. So, what is or will be making us air signs unhappy right now? Oh, look. It's the Eight of Pentacles. This is interesting in this position.
Reversed?
Well, it's always reversed.
Yeah.
So, air signs, where does it hurt? Maybe there's an inability to accomplish or finish even some work that you have to do because you either don't have the knowledge or skills. Maybe you need to take some extra training for something. Maybe at your workplace you're being asked for extra training or to go to in-services and stuff. And, a lot of people like that.
Whether it's work or not, what is the feeling right now is that you're not really mastering whatever this process is. You're not really competent enough to make relationships work or to make business work or to make other things work at this time.
And you know what? You're not really motivated either.
That could be too, yes.
And so that's playing into this and making matters worse.
So how are we dealing or will be dealing with this unhappiness, air signs?
Well, this is kind of constructive, I have to say, air signs. This might be indicating that this might be indicating that you are actually taking it step by step. That you are trying to sort out what's wrong, what your next steps are, what you need to do to bring back that fire, bring back that sense of desire for the work that you wanted to do.
Try as we might, every day is not always a party. So some days, the party is just a little bit more commensurate with what the daily activities are. So you may be trying to find ways to make yourself happy, but really it's more constructive to just keep building where you're best at, building your finer points up.
Finer points. And you know what? It might be that you need to pay attention to smaller details. Maybe there's some little things that are tripping you up that aren't as bad as you think.
So, card 3, why are our feelings justified, or are they?
Oh. Well, it's the healing card.
Oh, that's the wild card, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's the healing card reversed in this, of course,
How can you tell?
this reading, because she's kind of not trying to...
Got it.
Yeah, you get it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thanks for cutting me off. But at any rate, as you can see here, your feelings are justified because you're upset. You're not... it's upset you to the point where you don't want to take constructive action towards fixing the problem. You'd rather just throw the baby out with the bathwater. Is that a good thing to say here?
It could be. I'm not really sure. It goes along with those feelings, though, that maybe if you can't be happy enough, you're going to pick up your toys and go somewhere else. And so it's more of a reaction that is not constructive than one that could be constructive.
Yeah, it's more destructive than constructive. And, in a sense, you're not allowing yourself to find a way through this. So your feelings are justified, but where is this leading? How will we turn that frown upside down? Oh, 4 of Pentacles. 4 of Pentacles is upright.
No, it's reversed.
I'm sorry. It's reversed. They're all reversed. Sorry, don't listen to me. The 4 of Pentacles reversed indicates maybe we do need to let something go here. Maybe if you have lost the motivation, you've lost the drive, it's just too much effort or work that's needed to carry something through to a successful conclusion, to rebuild a foundation, maybe you need to let it go. Maybe it's time.
It almost feels like the conclusion of this is realizing that throughout all of it, you mostly have some baggage here, and this is baggage you need to kind of jettison. Or, realize, think about what is all of this really of value to you. If it's not of value to you, maybe it's time to, go take another path. Do something different. If not jettison, maybe there's the element of recycling here, because that sort of is embodied there, although the turn is different. But trying to do better with the resources you do have is another way of recycling.
Well, I like that. That's kind of nice, too. So let's recap this for the air signs. It looks as though you have no motivation, no drive, no willingness to really learn or apply your knowledge towards what you're working on. And so, you're unhappy.
Yeah, I can't say it any better than that. I mean, I feel that you just haven't really figured out how to apply yourself in anything, or that's really what's causing all this, is that you're not really in charge of your own sense of agency here. You don't really seem to have what it takes to be in charge of certain things right now. And so,
what are you doing about this? How are you handling it? Well, you are trying to take a more, I don't know what I want to say, a more step-by-step approach. You're trying to look at what you can do to maybe try to make this better. Are there little things that maybe could help and make an improvement here that could change the trajectory of where things are going?
4s are kind of foundational. They sort of represent, a physicality of sorts. A foundation is based on 4-sided structures almost always. So this could be saying really that you have to consider that too, that you don't have as firm a foundation in these areas as you want, and you need to fortify.
What's interesting, there isn't a tower here, but when I look at the combination of this foundational card with the next card, I almost see tower, because the next card is, are your feelings justified? And, well, yes, they are, because you feel like everything's falling down, and you really have a sense of just wanting it to, You almost want to let it fall. And that falls into the next card,
too. It's kind of like eating itself up, chaos kind of ensues. And then, of course, the last card is another 4, which is also, again, foundational. And maybe what this suggests, too, is that you really have to build better.
Well, or you have to let it go. Maybe it's time to let this go if it is not something that's truly of value to you. And you know what? Guess what? 4 and 4 is 8.
Ooh.
I had to trump him on the numbers thing.
So we shall move on now to our friends, the fire signs.
Where does it hurt for me and my friends, the fire signs? Oh my goodness, it's been a world of pain already, this Mercury retrograde. Will it ever stop?
Well, it stops, but then there's other planets that are still retrograde.
Yes, that's true.
Those are the ones that are maybe more fixed in a way because they're longer duration and they have more larger than life effects. They're not as personal as they are maybe societal in some respects.
All right, Mr. O. Don't drop cards.
I'll try not to.
You did pick them all up. You did.
I did.
Okay.
Including that wild card that we got.
Wow. Oh, was that one you dropped?
I don't remember. That was after the shuffling was done, so I think not.
Ah, okay. All right, fire signs. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Oh my goodness, this is gonna hurt.
What is or will be making us unhappy right now?
It's the Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords is reversed. They all are.
Oh, I have to go first?
No, I'll go first. What hurts is a betrayal, a loss, a setback that maybe you are now trying to get back on your feet from. And, it's never easy, especially if you feel betrayed or rejected in some way. It's really hard to rebound from that sometimes. But rebound you must. And, I think that's making you unhappy right now. Perhaps you do need a little bit more time to heal.
Well, what is making you unhappy right now is you probably have been through some of the worst circumstances of your life in some respects. You are rebounding. You did survive that, but you may literally be starting from, ground zero again, and that really can make you unhappy. You may have let go of a lot of things in the past, and now you don't have those as resources, friends, or anything. So, how are you dealing with this, or how should you be dealing with it?
Well, you shouldn't be dealing with it this way. It's the King of Cups. The King of Cups reversed is telling us that your emotions are all over the place. Clearly, yeah, this must have hurt pretty good. And so, or you suffered some type of setback here that is making you very emotionally upset. And so when we're emotionally upset, fire signs, it's hard to truly think clearly about what our next moves are going to be.
you may be determined to never let something like this happen to you again, and so you may be closing yourself off from some empathy stuff, and just deciding that you're not ready to trust anybody ever or for a long time. And this is your way of coping, perhaps, but it may not be the best way.
It's not the best way, no. All right, so why are our feelings justified? Well, it's typical fire sign thing here. It's the Four of Swords. The Four of Swords is a reversed, of course. And when it's reversed, well,
you may have felt that, to some degree things have healed, but when you really look at the longer trajectory of things, you don't feel that way. You still may feel that you need more time to heal, more time to rest. And so it sort of contributes to the idea in card 2 about kind of walling yourself off. Your feelings are justified, though, because you do need to process this. Are you processing it the right way?
It's interesting because I was going to go with a different route. I like that, and of course that was on my mind too, but I almost feel with the Four of Swords reversed, which is all about this get up and go, is that despite the fact that you're not thinking very clearly, despite the fact that this was a pretty big setback you're trying to get on your feet from, instead of giving yourself time to recover, you're trying to rush the recovery. You're trying to blaze past it as if to say, well, if I just keep working, if I just keep working around this, if I just keep moving forward, I won't have to think about it. But that's not going to help you. So your feelings are justified, but your approach is kind of unhealthy.
Can't say any more than that. So card 5, how will you turn this frown upside down? And it is the reversed Ace of Swords. Well, maybe not being an overachiever could be one way of looking at that. Maybe settling for the achievements you have or the achievements you know are possible, or understanding that there is a give and take flow here.
Maybe by realizing sometimes that, you have to suffer a defeat in order to gain more later. I think that's a possibility here. I think that, too, with the Ace of Swords, in this position of how to turn the frown upside down, is how to turn this failure into a victory. And with some of the ways that you are handling things here, as we'll go through the recap fire signs, is, you're going to have to change your attitude and get your emotions in check in order to be able to do that, I think. Yeah.
That's nice. Let's sum it up then.
All right. So fire signs, it looks as though with the Ten of Swords reversed, you've suffered some major betrayal, and really, you're trying to get up on your feet again. You're trying. Maybe it's a bit too soon. Maybe that's why you're unhappy. You're still feeling the pain and the stigma of this loss, and perhaps, it might be just too soon.
You're unhappy right now, but you are resolved to never let this happen again. And so, to some degree, this affects where you go from here.
But how are you dealing with this right now? It's not in a healthy manner, You're not in control of your emotions. There's some anger. There might be some sadness, disappointment, depression. So, when you're in that kind of state of mind, you're not in a good place to move forward. You need to really take the time to address, what's going on inside of you.
Instead of closing down your empathy and resolving to just stay away from people you don't feel you can trust, you need to work on reopening it up, establishing trust where you can, and maybe working on some of those other issues that underlie it. Is there a codependency somewhere underneath all of this?
That too. And of course we see that leading to the next card about your feelings being justified. Well, yes, they are, because you really wanted this you wanted whatever happened here to move in a different direction than it obviously did and keep moving, forward. But also, I feel here that your feelings are justified because you feel as though you should be able to just keep moving through it. you want to move through it, and it's been frustrating and depressing for you that you can't. And you're not giving yourself time to heal, and maybe you feel like the motivation and energy is there, and maybe you feel as though you can just work around it and just keep moving and not let this phase you, but you have to heal.
It's like anything with healing, you have to do the therapy. So your feelings may be justified, but you have to continue working through your therapy or whatever will help you process it better.
And ultimately, will you turn that frown upside down? If you're willing to do the work, if you're willing to get your head together, I feel you can turn this defeat into a victory. But it's going to take effort on your part to kind of rein in your natural tendency to just want to move forward, fluff it off, I'm okay, when you're clearly not.
A lot of that last card may be about, you resolving your feelings about whether you should be an overachiever or whether you need to kind of meter that down a little bit.
Nice, Mr. O.
Thank you.
So that's what we have for the fire signs. Let's move on to our water signs.
And water signs are Cancer, Scorpio, me, or Pisces. So what's bumming you out? What is making your world go a shudder?
Were you supposed to shuffle first?
Yes.
I thought so. Here you go. Is that making you unhappy?
No, not particularly.
Well, and if you like this reading, check out our other video content where we do readings through the elemental signs of the zodiac. Mr. O's emotional exchanges, for example, My Material Matters. We do a monthly modality message as well, which is for the modalities for the zodiac, and that is a monthly reading that is good for every season of the zodiac. Aries season, Taurus season, Gemini season.
All right, your turn.
Thank you. It's your turn to prattle.
Yes, and it's my turn to prattle and also show my adeptness with the camera. So, of course, we do live streams where we will answer a broader range of questions, and those are twice a week, Thursdays 7 to 9 p.m. or Sundays 2 to 4 p.m. And those times, like all our times, are Eastern Standard Time. We're over in the more eastern part of the USA. And, of course, we love everybody. We love the fact that people stay up to see us, or people go to bed late to see us, or people from different parts of the world come to see us. So we will be doing another TFT in the witching hour. That will be Monday, October 30th in those wee hours. And that's kind of like a chef's kiss to our friends over on the other side of the planet. All right.
All right. So where does it hurt? Water signs.
Oh, indeed. And it's the High Priestess reversed. So this may be feeling like what hurts is that you just don't feel very connected to your inner wisdom at this time, or maybe you feel that, you should have listened to something that turned out to be a bad sense of judgment. There's always a little bit of a sense of judgment here with the High Priestess.
Well, yes, and there's a possibility here, too, that maybe you did not listen to your intuition when it was trying to push you towards something. There was some kind of disconnect going on here, or a lack of trust in your inner voice, and you missed an opportunity because of it.
And that's kind of key for the water signs, since they tend to be a little bit more on the empathic range there.
And the veil is thin right now, so it's easy to connect, but, maybe you're having some troubles too, especially now during the Mercury retrograde. Let's face it, that could be playing into it.
So part 2, how are we dealing with, or how will we be dealing with this unhappiness?
It's the Six of Cups. The Six of Cups is here. And I think you're dealing with this unhappy. Well,
it's
I have to think about this one.
It's possible that maybe the way you're dealing with it is going back to some bad habits or some bad persons, bad influences from your background. Like maybe you've just decided to, desert some sense of your stability. And so this could involve codependency. This could be in general that you are leaning into your codependency. Maybe there's a particular friend or relative who enables you in certain ways. And so you're maybe, kind of schmoozing with them and they're not really helping you, or you're not helping yourself.
It could be that even, you're regressing, okay? You missed an opportunity, or you weren't listening to your inner voice, or perhaps you feel totally unconnected from, your guides and, the other side. And so you're feeling as though you want to go back. You want to travel back in time to when things were better, rather than dealing with the things in the here and now. You can't live in the past. You can't live in the past, and you shouldn't try to. Maybe the past wasn't, because this is reversed after all, maybe that past wasn't all it's cracked up to be.
I'm hearing that Jethro Tull song, Living in the Past.
Well, don't sing it.
But our third card is, why are these feelings justified? Or, in fact, are they justified? And it's our friend, the King of Cups.
Oh, this seems like deja vu to me for some reason. The King of Cups reversed. Yes, which reading was that in? Was it in the fire signs? Yes.
Yeah, it was the last one.
Are your feelings justified? Wow. I almost want to say no, because... Or why are our feelings justified? It's why are our feelings justified? Well, they're justified because you're in a very fragile emotional state right now. There's this wanting to go back to past better times, ignoring the present, ignoring your inner voices or missing signals from them. And you're just in a very fragile emotional state. And maybe that's what it is. It's just a difficult time for you right now.
Well, of course your feelings are justified. You're water sign, and you've got cups there. You've got cups there, and you've got the high priestess that's about those deeper waters too. And so they are justified.
Speak the truth, water sign.
They are justified, if only to yourself. And so that thing could still be that this does not oblige you to close down your empathy or rapport with anybody else, that maybe there is validity in being able to share. So keep that in mind. Your feelings are justified, but you may have to talk to others in order for them to understand where you're coming from.
Wow, okay. Well, so how do you turn this frown upside down? It's the Ten of Cups. The Ten of Cups is...
all cups for the emotional water
Isn't
signs.
that... Well, except for the High Priestess.
Yeah.
But that's a very water sign type card. You're right.
Oh, yeah.
So it's a very, very deep and internal. I feel whatever is going on with you water signs, it's very internal. I think here, how you turn that frown upside down is by reaching out to others. Don't close yourself off from others at this time. Don't wall yourself off away and, wistfully trying to bring back a past that no longer exists. Reach out to friends. Reach out to family now. Try to do some things that will lift your spirits back up again.
Don't surround yourself with yourself.
Oh, stop it. Mr. Owen, the song today.
But it's so appropriate,
No high five?
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought you were pushing me away.
Oh my gosh, well, I should.
See,
but that's beside the point.
I'm an emotional crybaby water sign. Okay.
Okay, very interesting card. I like that. And that's it. Okay, so let's go back to the beginning here for you water signs. It's like, where does it hurt? It hurts because you feel lost and confused. You're missing signals. Your gut is not leading you in the right direction, or you aren't listening and you're missing out on, your gut trying to tell you something. You can't make that connection right now, possibly due to Mercury retrograde, and so it's problematic.
Or it's possible that, you're picking up impressions from other people, influences from other people, people through your conversations or whatever, and those are leading you to the wrong conclusion. You should trust yourself.
I like the idea of surrounding yourself with yourself, because this is my thought, is maybe you're too internal focused right now and it's not working for you. The timing just, something is off. You need to either relax more, meditate more, ground and center, because you're not getting there. And so, and I think it's because of that card at the end.
Yeah, I still feel that you need to work through your codependencies if they're there. That's a Six of Cups, and realize that you shouldn't be closing down all of your empathy, even if you feel, that this is justified, but you can't forget other people.
I just don't see codependencies in the Six of Cups, me personally. So I'm just going to say that I feel that, you're trying to now live in the past. You want to bring back past ideals, past beliefs. You're bringing things up that maybe weren't even that unhealthy. But for some reason, because you feel so lost inside right now, you're looking back to the past as being better than the here and now. And you need to focus on what's wrong here inside of you in the here and now.
Now, despite everything, when you look at that last card upside down, there is sort of a sense of a smile by turning the card upside down.
You're bringing that up before we get to this one. I like that.
Over all of that.
I've been kind of going too. All right, go.
Well, finish it up then.
No, you finish that one. Let's
I already
go.
talked about that one.
You did?
Yeah, I said don't close down your empathy.
Oh, I didn't know he jumped ahead.
I did.
So you. You need to get more control of your emotions, water signs. You absolutely do. And that's the problem here. You got to get in control of your emotions. Stop living in the past. Focus on what's wrong right here, right now, and get back connected and in touch.
And then finally, when you get to the Ten of Cups reversed, what will turn it upside down? A lot of this, I think, is like what you said, not forgetting that you do have resources available to you, that this could signal a time where maybe you have to reevaluate which ones are the ones that support you the most.
Right. I guess, if Mr. O wants to say there's some codependencies going on here you need to let go of, this is a reminder that there are good people out there, family and friends who do support you. Focus on that, but also focus on uplifting yourself by doing things that bring some fun and some joy back into your life, and preferably with others, so that you're not so much focusing on the internal, because I feel like your internal needs like a jump start from some external joy and happiness right now. You're living too much inside yourself, and your inside self is not doing too well right now. And also, Mr. O's astute observation, that sure does look like a smile from my perspective.
All right. Well, that wrap-up was almost longer than the actual card to play.
Well, that's such a shame. Isn't it? Water signs are very complicated, where everybody so far has been having things that seem to be more external. I really feel this is really internal focused.
So finally, we are at the Earth signs.
Yeah, you poor long-suffering Earth signs. We take forever to get to you, but we will not let you down. Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn, this reading is for you. Where does it hurt? Oh, want to shuffle?
I'm just an afterthought, aren't I?
Except when you've got to constantly sing. Then there's no avoidance.
So, Gary Wright of Dreamweaver died this week.
Did he?
Yes, he was 76, I believe.
Wow.
And it's very interesting because I found out some things about him I did not know. Like, one was he was the recording keyboard on George Harrison's first solo album, All Things Must Pass.
Oh, wow.
I also didn't know that he is one of the founders of the British band Spooky Tooth. And of course, many people say, Spooky Tooth, what? But I remember them from the late 60s, early 70s. I remember the fact that, of course, they had an album called, I'm not going to sing it, You Broke My Heart, So I Bust Your Jaw. And of course, that doesn't sound
I
like...
have heard you talk about this song before, and I've heard the name Spooky Tooth, and maybe it was in relation to that.
I saw Spooky Tooth.
I don't remember them.
I saw Spooky Tooth in 73 or 74. They were opened for Black Sabbath. And their guitarist later went on to Martha Hoople, changed his name to Ariel Bender. And I love that. A guitar player whose name is Ariel Bender. That just sounds so
Well, he probably
cool.
did it for that.
Right. And that has nothing to do with Gary Wright either. Anyways, we are on to the earth signs.
Yes, we are. So, earth signs, where does it hurt? What's making you unhappy right now? Or will be? Oh, my. Now we get into some emotional stuff. Well, we did with the last reading a little bit, too, and the ones where the King of Cups was.
We didn't have this card, though. It's
no, we did not.
Reversed Ace of Cups.
Yes.
Where does it hurt? Earth signs.
Earth signs. You're very unhappy. You're feeling a lack of joy in your life right now. It could be because maybe there's been a breakup in a relationship. It could be, I think more likely with this card, it's not so much a breakup in a relationship, but maybe a relationship that never quite gets off the ground.
It could be something like that in general. If it's not a relationship, maybe it was some sort of affair or thing that you really wanted to do, that you really felt very heartfelt about it. Maybe it was going to a particular event or a series of events. It could have been anything. It didn't work out and it's making you unhappy.
Okay. Next one.
Next card. How are we dealing or will be dealing with
I
this?
should let you do that. Go ahead.
And it's the Queen of Pentacles.
Wow.
How
And
are we
it's
dealing with
reversed.
It's reversed. Well, we could be dealing with this by really the right things in a way, trying to give ourselves some extra self-care, trying to work on our own thing, our own projects, not necessarily taking on other people's burdens or situations at this time.
But on the other hand, I'm just going to throw that out there. I totally agree with you, because the Queen of Pentacles reversed is often about, self-care and the need for that. So clearly, the way you are dealing with this perhaps is giving yourself that self-care, but perhaps it's also maybe not so good. You might be shutting people out, maybe you're taking it out on others around you who depend on you, and you're no longer there because you're so upset about what has happened here, and you just aren't there for those who maybe really need you too at this time.
What comes to mind maybe is even the simple act of, maybe taking care of some house plants or gardening, like
that's
slack on that a little bit and feel like, well, that's okay, they'll be okay. But you know what? Plants have feelings too, so you want to consider that. Anyways, let's move on to card 3.
I'm not going to rush the earth signs, but card 3 is what?
Why are our feelings justified?
Well, it's an interesting card.
It's another ace, but it's the Ace of Wands. We've had this one.
Did we?
Yeah, we had it for...
I don't know that we had it, but I think it came up recently.
Canceled reading.
Well, the Ace of Wands reversed. Okay, are your feelings justified? Yes, because whatever this was that hurt you so badly was very important to you. You felt it was important to your success in some way. Whether it was a relationship, we're talking about here that never quite got off the ground, or whether it was a real heartfelt goal that you desired, you wanted so badly. and it just didn't happen.
Well, you don't feel like you will be able to experience this kind of growth again, or you don't feel that you'll be able to start up again.
This opportunity will come again.
Whatever happened, right? So you may be, overthinking, what the implications or the denouement will actually be, and of course that justifies your feelings that it's over. It's not going to work out.
Wow, Earth signs. So how do we turn this frown upside down? Well, it's a Knight of Swords. That's a tricky little card in this position, but excuse me. Basically, you can turn this frown upside down by not being too aggressive, by maybe slowing it down a bit, and understanding that maybe you need to take your time to sort things out up here, as to where you go next, because you're feeling pretty down emotionally. So see if you can't, slow things down a bit until you're in a better emotional state to be able to think clearly again.
This Knight reversed may often have the effect of bringing a little bit too much pressure to a situation, maybe making some rash or careless moves, and you want to watch for that. You don't want to turn things around by just sort of going in and being a provocateur of sorts. Right. This is really about saying, settle down a little bit, think it through. Don't feel that you have to rush to any opportunity that might take you back to restart that or to rectify, those issues.
So was it in the last reading or the reading before we had 2 4s?
I don't remember, but it was recently.
And now we have 2 aces.
And 2 court cards.
And 2 court cards.
Quite interesting.
Yeah, some interesting stuff here today. So Earth signs, to recap, basically you're very disappointed and sad. Something has made you feel unfulfilled, and it might be because something you were hoping to start up, like as evidenced by the Ace of Wands there, whether it's a relationship or, some cherished project or goal is just not happening and you're blue and heartsick over it.
You really have the feeling that, you're not going to be able to achieve what you thought was going to be something incredibly harmonious, loving, or a sense of happiness and joy for you. You just feel that, you missed an opportunity, or that what you thought was going to bloom or unfold did not.
Well, how are you dealing with this, in a good way or in a bad way? Let's look at both angles to this Queen of Pentacles reversed here. And as Mr. O said, are you giving yourself, you're maybe dealing with this by giving yourself some self-care, some time to take care of you instead of other things around you. But on the other hand,
Mrs. O said,
you want to say it?
No. Because I forgot it, kind of.
Are you abandoning others or other things in your life that really need your attention right now? Your loving care. So, don't let this upset the rest of your, life and the people or things that depend on you.
Very nice. So are our feelings justified? And they are justified, but it's a sense really that we missed that opportunity for something to really engage and grow that is driving that.
Right. I can't add to that. It's obviously, some goal, something that you were determined to start up, whether it was a relationship, whether it was, something of a business nature or a hobby or goal. It's just not getting off the ground. So yeah, your feelings are justified. And ultimately, how do you turn that frown upside down? Well, by really giving yourself the space. Slow it down. You don't have to rush. You realize nothing's happening here. So now slow it down and try to figure out what your next moves are going to be with a clearer head. And the only way you're going to clear your head is by getting your emotions more in check.
So, don't engage until your inner Captain Picard says, engage.
You had something else to say about this earlier that I thought was really good.
To avoid, rash moves or careless
Yeah.
moves. The typical energy of that night is to kind of rush in and take over. When they're reversed, though, they may not be aware of, bad results.
Agreed. So that's what we have for you, Earth signs.
And now,
What do we have for the world?
what do we have for the world? The collective, society, globally. So it may point out things that may be more pertinent to a particular nation or reign of thought, but we're going to tell you what we see there.
Who's shuffling first?
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
It does not matter.
Nothing really matters. I get to sing.
I'll lip sync you. Go on.
Anyone can see. Nothing really matters to... Go sing it. To me. I'm probably way off key. So.
I don't know about that, but I knew that my voice wasn't warmed up enough to hit those high notes.
Oh, well, that's why I didn't go
As well as
high.
I might be able to.
And I have a little frog in my throat, so...
If we kiss the frog, will it turn into a princess?
You'll have to try. Sorry, this is a family show.
Tell the frog to come out.
No tongue. Here. Okay.
Is it a frog in your throat like Froggy on that old TV show we used to watch?
Oh my gosh, no, I hope not.
Yeah, that frog won't come out. So we just want you to know that despite the levity we've been having here, we really are unhappy to have to bring you this show.
Bly is here for us, remember. Bly is here for us.
But at its core, as you can see, the Unhappy Hour is about maybe giving us some real resources or tools to identifying what our problems are and maybe trying to put them on a better track.
And let's not forget that Bly's crystal ball says the future looks bright.
Bingo.
All right, world.
So,
what can we do for your pain?
what makes the world unhappy right now?
It's the Four of Cups. The Four of Cups is here.
Ooh,
In the first position.
Somebody has to
Reversed.
make a choice. Somebody has to decide something, maybe.
Yeah, maybe, well, that's really an interesting card in this position.
Mm-hmm.
I feel here that there are opportunities for growth here, but for some reason, maybe the situation is trying to get people on board with this. There's opportunities for some positive things to happen, but maybe we're not all on the same page with this.
Right. I mean, this could pertain to the American politics, but it could also pertain to the whole BRICS thing that's going on, too.
Different countries, China just released a new map saying that certain territories are theirs, and some of the countries involved in that have something else to say about
So it
that.
almost sounds like it's overarching, and maybe it's because of the retrogrades going on, but maybe this card says what makes us unhappy, world collectively, is that some of us may be forced into a conclusion that we're not totally ready for, or that we feel we might have to try to bring others to that conclusion in order to have, something result.
Some of us are unhappy because, there's opportunities for progress in some of these areas that they don't have to be so muddled, but not everybody's willing to accept that, accept the cup being offered. So,
how is the world dealing or will be dealing with this unhappiness?
guess who's back?
The
The King of Cups.
Tough love.
Again, we're not dealing with this really well, I feel. That we're allowing our emotions to rule our head here. And it's interesting because, again, we've got 2 cup cards, I'm just not feeling that emotionally we're handling this well. In other words, people may be bickering. Well, we can take this on, or we can agree to this. No, we can't, and there seems to be a struggle here to achieve, emotional stability.
Well, there's also some dominance things playing out too.
Yeah.
Some people are saying, well, put up or shut up. It's too bad that you don't have that, but we've got to do this. So the empathy factors are kind of shutting down again with the people who it's more important to maybe not be that way. And of course, the result is that it is, not a good way of dealing with it.
Well, Mr. O, that's a very good point, the empathy factor, because perhaps, some people, we're unhappy because people are unwilling to consider, positive outcomes here because they're allowing their ego to get in the way of their empathy for what's right for all.
Well, I can think of political things going on in the U.S. where people are trying to have leverage over individuals or over budgets or things like that, or over the military. And, they're playing the tough love thing, but it may not be the best way to do it. Card 3. Why are the world's feelings justified?
It's another repeat card from this reading.
And it's the Ten of Cups reversed.
Well, look at that. Our feelings are justified because there's a lot of unhappiness. There's a lot of emotional pain.
We realize that we can't all just get along.
Right, and it's collective pain. It almost sounds like our political divide a lot too, the people who just refuse to come to the center again, come together on the things we agree upon. There are many things we agree upon, but everybody is focusing on what pulls us apart right now.
How can the world turn the frown upside down?
Well, it's the Page of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles is reversed here. Clearly, it's all reversed. Clearly, the world, everybody needs to take a step back, ground and center, and try not to be so manipulative about things. Sometimes this page can be very manipulative, and sneaky about the way they want to promote their own, desires and agendas. I feel here, too, that you have to be open to listening and learning from each other, We have to learn, and we're not willing to open our minds as well as our hearts, perhaps. So that is what we have to change in order to turn our frown upside down.
Well, I also think that this implies that there are modalities of healing or modalities of support or understanding that not everybody can agree on working with, or not everybody wants everybody else to know about. And so we have to figure out what are the ways to address the spiritual needs, the physical needs, the emotional needs, all of that stuff, and not let us, continue keeping these imbalances. It's a really hard task.
Boy, this could involve just about everything going on in the world right now. From the Ukraine war to some of the upsets in Africa to, the China map thing to just, so many things. The trade, the BRICS disagreements. There's a G20 going on right now, but I do not know, if that's involved in this as well. Let's take a look and recap this as we can, and maybe you yourselves can see where some of this fits. And clearly, for us in the U.S., we sort of know what all this is talking about. But at any rate, the Four of Cups reversed is indicating there's opportunities being offered that could really change the trajectory of things maybe. Could be something that maybe comes only once and, could make a difference. But there's a lot of indifference here, and that's what's hurting, is we can't get everybody on the same page to agree to take that
one
off.
Solution does not fit all, but maybe a lot of people with influence are being forced to think that or feel that way.
So, blah, blah.
How are we dealing?
Yes, how are we dealing?
How is the world
We're just dealing, we're all getting angry. We're getting bitter. We're allowing our emotions to rule over our logical brain. Otherwise, we might be considering what's there. But without clearing out the emotional baggage we're feeling towards one another, or societally, wherever this is applying, we're not getting anywhere.
Right. It may be that we are kind of closing down that empathy. I keep saying that, but it keeps showing up.
We need to have both oars in the water.
Definitely. Ooh.
I had to get that in there, finally, with that card. And so...
Are the world's feelings justified?
We're all just all over the place, There's maybe no trust. There's maybe no, perfect love and perfect trust. There's a sense that, there's no spirit of harmony amongst us that we can build upon. And so, yes, I feel our feelings are justified. If we cannot come together, solutions will not, solutions will just be ideas that never come to realization.
Is the world a mess of dysfunction and codependence?
Oh, there you like that word today, codependence, but I don't know. It could be. I feel it's...
interlocking systems.
Personally, I feel it's too much independence. In other words, people feeling they don't need everybody else. And that, they want what they want, and screw community. Screw what's best for the good of all. It's that empathy factor we forgot to bring up again there.
I mentioned that.
Okay.
Okay, so how do we turn it around? How does the world turn it around?
Well, we have to ground and center. We have to focus on what's truly good for all, not just allow our egos to interject here. We have to really hold on to what's of value for all and let the rest go.
There are multiple systems, and there are multiple ways of applying those systems, and so we have to get more on board with that. We have to realize that we have to do things that are better for people's health, are better for people's spirituality, are better for people's self-empowerment, as well as the world economy, all of that. We have to figure out how to employ and deploy better strategies in that regard.
Wow, so some interesting heady readings today, and some of them took longer than others, so...
I don't know, this therapy session is making me more depressed.
No, wait. Lie.
Oh, that'll be better, Mr. O, don't worry.
Someday.
I needed that.
Is there a song, Someday We'll Get Together, or something like that? How does it go?
Oh, ooh, child, things are gonna get easier. Ooh, child, things will be brighter right now.
There, that's what I was thinking of, yes. All right, everybody.
Right,
we are going off the rails here. So we'll quit while we're behind. Take care. Hopefully you'll get through this period until we come back again with another unhappy hour. Let's hope you turn those frowns upside down. Bye for now.